The Zone Coverage Podcast Network. The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy Luke and Reef Football Machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Straight cash, homie.
Starts now.
I'm in Mexico. We're rolling.
Welcome back to Thunder for another Zone Coverage Football Machine on the Zone Coverage Podcast Network. I'm Renat's all host Andy Carlson at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine, and I have equity, more equity than the Twin Cities Orthopedics paid for the naming rights of the Twin Cities Orthopedics. Kirk Cousins showing up for his first Twin Cities Orthopedics OTAs taking place this week at the Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center in Twin Cities Orthopedics, Egan.
Do they have the city? We got to redo that.
We're just going to call it Winter Park 2. I don't care. Yeah, I know a lot of people want to name things Valhalla, except it won't catch on. It just won't. Like U.S. Bank Stadium is supposed to be Valhalla. Nope. It's a tough one. Doesn't even have a nickname yet. So whatever. Joining me, as always, is Luke Inman. Follow my Twitter, Luke_spin. Man, hey.
Hey, man. 8 days. 8 days.
And this is like the dead zone period, though. Like nothing happens.
It is. Well, a lot of rumors, a lot of smoke. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Favorites
at this point,
all the way up?
right? Like, right? They're gonna go get Rosen at 12, dude. At this point, though, I just feel like all the boards are already set. Nothing's really gonna change. It's just who's gonna come out with the bong mask video.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
The funny thing about the draft is that we have character concerns about this guy, so we're not going to take him in the first round. But if he's there in the third,
God forbid, if he's there at 50,
such a sliding scale.
I'm trading up to get him.
Quentin Nelson, in cold blood, could murder a man in like Times Square, like right before the. Well, no, it's not in New York. In Dallas, Dealey Plaza. That may be too soon, but say he kills a man in Dallas, and there's video of him. And he's detained. He'll still be a second-round pick.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, we're not going to give him our fifth-year option anymore, but
there's two
early
sides
day
to these
2.
stories.
Let me sleep on it. Early day 2, done deal.
Someone who's also a first-round pick, Yinka Inde.
Yeah, man.
Saxon Prince.
Yeah, man. They need a quarterback. So I'm out here just waiting for the call. But more importantly, landed no matter what.
If you had to compare your quarterback style to a player in recent memory, who would it be?
I have been touted as my generation's Brian Leftwich.
Ooh, that's solid, dude.
I love that name.
That's solid, dude. I loved Leftwich. You remember that draft?
Long throwing motion?
Yeah, very, very long throwing motion, which 10. I have been improving, actually. So I'm excited.
That was the Kevin Williams, Suggs, Jordan Gross draft, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And that was the year, obviously, we didn't get the card in on time twice. Really wanted Suggs really bad coming out of Arizona State.
Bring him home. # one of us.
Yeah, you know
really
they played
mad
football with Maurer?
Yeah, you keep telling me that.
Yeah,
I always forget. Every time.
When I Googled that he was from Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
One of us.
Yeah, that's
so they got a lot of family here. Like Jalen Suggs is his nephew, cousin, one of the two.
That's made up. But everything else is real.
Yeah. Oh, Byron Leftwich went 7.
That's right. He went 7, and then Suggs, then Gross, then K-Dubs. Jimmy Kennedy was in there.
Carson Palmer 1.
Oh, my.
Charles. By the way, listeners, this is something that Luke, Reef's not here. He's thrown up, by the way. Just go through old drafts.
We always do that. Anytime we're in the car.
Palmer 1. Yeah. Charles Rogers 2. That string of Detroit wide receivers. Just whatever. Andre Johnson 3. No big deal. Dwayne Robertson, the pride of Kentucky, 4 to the Jets.
Ooh, dude, he was supposed to be
Number
nasty.
5, I'll give you each a guess.
Number 5, can I get one clue?
Who's the team?
Cowboys.
Oh, Terrence Newman.
Yeah. Still around.
What a draft. Kansas State, dude.
Yeah. I think him and T-Sizzle might be the only first-round picks left because Suggs went 10.
K-Dubs left a little bit. Jimmy Kennedy was trash.
Yeah. The Vikings were on the clock at 7, but time expired. So the Jaguars moved up and took Leftwich. Carolina was like, you going to pick? No? All right, we'll take Jordan Gross, who'd be a perfectly damn good left tackle for a decade. Whatever.
Right. What a fun, crazy ass top 10, dude.
What
That was
if?
wild.
What if this? Because I mean, obviously the Vikings have now switched to that big board, that big electronic board or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know, it comes down. They're about to pick their guy or whatever,
And it all just
and it
shuts
just all
off.
just shuts off.
Yeah. That's it.
I can see that
Did
happen.
you get the black tie protection, man? Did you get the Geek Squad protection?
So that's why I want to, like, if you were, like, a diehard Packers fan, I was like, hey,
Just go unplug it.
and you're an electrician, just blow up blow up's a bad term. Shut off the generator.
At that point, though, like, are we at the point where they start doing background checks and, like, seeing if you are a Packer fan? Like, wait a minute, dude. You're originally from Wisconsin. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, like, hospitals have backup generators because, like, if the power
Sure,
goes
you
down,
have to.
they have to, stay up. I wonder if the Twin Cities Orthopedic Center does.
I would guess so.
Or they'd
I
run
would
generators
think
on draft day,
Yeah.
just in case. Oh, also working the board is Tom. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on?
Some level of whackness. I think we got to figure it out, though.
Who dicked with the board?
I want to know because we have Tim and Dane in Houston covering the series there.
Yep.
Sam is out of the country, so he's not here.
Wait, where's Sam?
Sam is in Ireland. He's out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's trying to go golfing. I talked to him today.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
bad luck with weather, but
Sam Ekstrom, the whitest guy in Ireland, which is
saying something, dude.
just amazing.
Yeah, and I was here Sunday, so I'm trying to think of who used this before.
Was it you?
No Gopher podcast. No, I haven't been here since Sunday.
Did you have a couple of beverages and like
Just start
pressing
messing with
buttons?
it? Yeah, right.
Do you ever do that? That's why the casinos give out free booze. They just want you to get drunk and pressing buttons.
Yeah.
It's when you're at your most.
I didn't win any money though. I didn't have the slot machine didn't work here.
Oh, that's an accurate gambling experience then. There you go. Today, we got some Vikings 7-round mock draft scenarios. We got some random news in there. And also the great, the wondrous, the awesome zone coverage draft guide, which Luke and you and Arif, and also Irishmen have been slaving away at. Just working.
Yeah,
grinding,
a lot.
trying to get better every day.
Just trying to get better, stacking the bricks, dude.
Yeah.
Trying to get better every day. I can't speak enough to how much content Arif has churned out with the analytics, the numbers, some of the cool stuff that I didn't even know we could really break down prospects with some of this stuff that Arif pulled out. And then Sam had some outstanding breakdowns as well for all 40 of our consensus players. We broke down the Viking specific needs for each position and round, and then we also broke down our top 5 positional videos as well. So ton of great videos, ton of great breakdowns, ton of cool stuff with the analytics from Arif and Sam. And really, I don't know who did the layout, Tom, but the layout of it, the actual draft page, it's pretty slick
It
as
was
well. I'm not
probably
gonna lie to you.
Chad. It might have been Sam, but it was probably
It might have been Sam, it might have been Chad, I don't know, but the layout is outstanding. Well worth $3.
Yep.
Can't get much for $3 these days.
$3 a month, or
this
you can
economy,
go full
$3.
year. Full year, $24. You get a shirt,
Or get the
Buffalo
pitch it.
Wild Wings,
Pitch it.
and my burger, free burger. It's
My
sweet.
burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, outstanding. Check it out. Great stuff. Not only this week leading up to the draft, but once we draft those guys, you're going to want to go back and check out some goodies on them. Again, we got you covered here at zonecoverage.com.
And let me tell you about these shirts. These shirts are so awesome that we don't even get them for free unless we subscribe.
They come out of our paycheck
because we're like, Tom,
doesn't exist.
hey, Tom,
Yes.
we get a shirt, and he's like, no. Have you subscribed? That's how exclusive they are.
Gotta protect the brand.
Yeah, Yinka, what have you been up to this week?
I actually been really digging into like the top 5 for each position. So I really spent the entire weekend like starting quarterbacks, so I can build my top 5 as far as quarterbacks. I starting to get into running backs now. I was probably getting into O-line, D-line later in the week, or at least Thursday, Friday, and then probably sometime this weekend. Just come out with my top 5 each, and then from there, I don't know. From there, just maybe see best fits, and maybe do a mock draft just before the draft comes out. So
now I mentioned this to Arif, but I mean, Luke, with I feel like this is the time of the draft season where us casual draft fans get into it? Because like you and Reef and like draft Twitter have been like knee deep in like
since December.
If this is Nam,
wild, dude.
If this is Nam, like Yinka and I are like these fresh green butter bar lieutenants just showing up.
You come over and I'm shaking, smoking like a cigarette down to the butt, dude. Like, you ain't seen the shit I've seen, man.
8 tours in Nam, like hardcore stuff. Like you've even been to Laos and Cambodia and stuff. But now it's like me getting over there. I'm like,
shit.
hey, you know who's really interesting? Alex Kappa. And you're like,
don't you ever say that name around here again, son?
you take a drag from your Marlboro Red. You're like, I was on him in October.
Well, a couple years ago, I was really into it. Was 2014, 2015 draft that I was very into.
Started getting into it.
Yeah, really got into it. Last couple of years have been a little bit down as far as pulling it back from it. It was...
You know, I will say this. 2014 was the first year I went to the Senior Bowl. And I was always into the draft before that, but that was the first year I started getting deep into interviews. And we were spoiled with 2014 because 2014, and this is what happens when you jump in on a crazy draft class and you don't realize it. And you don't even realize that at the time until 2-3 years go by. But you've got the big 4 quarterbacks, and Bortles went early, but the Teddy, Carr, and Johnny draft, I mean, that alone was polarizing. But then you got guys like Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Donald, Zach Martin, C.J. Mosley, and the busts. And the busts like Justin Gilbert, who everybody thought would be unreal. Greg Robinson was supposed to be unreal. So a lot of big names there that I think when you jump in, that's your first time. I'll be honest, like this draft class, every draft class has its own thumbprint, right? Like its own.
Not as bad as 2013.
But not as bad as 2013. But it's not the best draft. Like there's no Julios, there's no AJ Green.
There's no guy that I feel like I think people are probably going to give up farm just to go and grab.
No.
The quarterback
and Chubb's going to be great. Yeah. Barkley's cool, but here's how I explain it: when the top 2 players in the draft is a guard and a running back, that kind of sums it up. That's where we're at. Now, again, we'll look back. There'll be plenty of great players.
Usually, and 2 positions as far as running back and guard, who are over the last 6-7 years have devalued as far as draft capital. You don't see guards going into even the first round really.
No. I mean, we saw that Chance Warmack, Jonathan Cooper draft, and that burned some people, and nobody's ever really touched him again.
Although Brandon Scherf kind of worked out.
Absolutely. But I will say this: Brandon Scherf was probably drafted as a tackle.
He was as a tackle.
He could have been an unreal right tackle. He's just an all-world guard, which is fine too.
Yeah, I had this thought today. It's like if you want to make the pension for the NFL, which I think is at 4 years, just be a fair to Midland college tackle, because then you'll get drafted as a tackle, and if you're bad, they'll just try and kick you into guard for like 4 years. They're like, they'll work this out. Vlad Dukas is starting. If Richie Incognito retires, Vlad Dukas,
which he did,
is going to start.
Oh my gosh,
for the Buffalo Bills.
And you know what? Bills have so many needs, and they plan on using. They have a lot of ammo, but they're going to use it all to move up to get a quarterback. They're not going to have enough picks to go get a starting guard or every position. Vlad Dukas could be your starter. You're right, man.
He's still in the league.
He's coming around.
He's starting, not just in the league.
Face of the franchise, Vlad Dukas. Teddy called it, right? He said he's the face of the franchise, and he's right.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah. Also wild. Eric Kendricks, come on down. 5 years, $50 million, $25 million guaranteed
money.
Knew it was going to get done. I was kind of surprised he was first, though.
Yeah, I would say that too. I think we all play the scenarios. You have guys like Danielle Hunter, Anthony Barr, Stephon Diggs, guys that you have to lock in. And we played the game of, if you had to lock up as many of these guys as you can, and maybe one had to go. We really did think. I mean, I was definitely in the boat where I thought, Eric Kendricks could probably be, that guy that, you'd probably see you lose to free agency. Maybe not the biggest middle linebacker, fantastic player, but as far as replaceability, you never let go of premier pass rushers like Danielle Hunter, Anthony Barr just being really integral to Mike Zimmer's defense.
But Yinka, he got fewer sacks last year, being a full-time player.
Right? And then you have Stephon Diggs where, we haven't seen this level of wide receiver play since, maybe Moss, Percy Harvin?
Yeah.
Like,
the type of production, anyway. The impact on the offense, for sure, yeah. Good stuff. Don't forget about Sheldon Richardson.
Yeah,
don't forget about,
minor details.
Are we going to pay Trey Waynes? Are we going to pay Trey Waynes $13 million? Maybe not.
So,
it's a nice head start And we knew they were going to sign one, maybe two. They might not be done before we hit free agency. That's just what they do. They're so good at that. I thought, all in all, pretty fair structure of the contract. 25 guaranteed was a lot. When you look at guys like Nigel Bradham, who got like $6 million guaranteed, which Howie Roseman, I don't know how you do that.
Even 2 years ago, like Kuechly's extension, he only got 27 guaranteed.
Yeah, wow. So that speaks volumes right there. But I think as the player, ultra instinctual, just has a nose for the football. No, not the fastest straight line guy, not the biggest by any means, but quick where he needs to be quick in that short area burst. And again, football instincts and IQ is what you need from that middle linebacker, especially in a Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, and the thing you get next is obviously, I think Anthony Barr has to come next just because of what's going to happen. You're going to obviously see the cap being lower, just the cap hit being lower because of the extension. So I think it makes the most sense to go with Anthony Barr the next, and then you can kind of figure out, okay, do we really want to give more money to Dylan Hunter right now, or do we want to maybe pay Stephon Diggs and then have that franchise tag in our back pocket for 2019?
Now, here's the thought. Like, I think all four will get done, but do you think Kendricks is first because he has the least leverage amongst the four?
It's a good question. I don't know. That's a tough one. What do you think? I don't know. The least leverage? I don't know. Could be. I think at the end of the day, I think they probably want Diggs and Hunter to earn and play out this last year of their contract.
Which I worry about.
Diggs, a little bit more of an injury-prone guy. If he ends up getting injured again, you're going to get him at a discount. Hunter, just so young. I'm willing to pay you if you blow up. I'll pay you. And if you don't live up to that hype again, if you kind of repeat what you did this year, I'm going to get you at a discount again. Kendricks, I think his value is only going to go up, if anything. It's going to stay the same or go up, unless he got injured.
What worries about me about Hunter is that blowing up thing where
he could blow up.
If he was the free agent on this market, he would have been the highest paid, by far. Not talking about like Olivier Vernon, but he would be there. But if you can get him on a sweetheart deal, it would be a lot more advantageous rather than he blows up next year. He starts playing some right at the end. Whereas if Diggs blows up, like right now, if Diggs signed an extension, $14 million a year would not be unheard of.
It wouldn't.
Where if he blows up, I mean, what's his?
Be crazy. And that's what worries me about both Hunter and Diggs because I think they have the biggest. They could potentially have the biggest out of this world escalator that could exist with their contracts. They have a good year. Diggs has, he has a 15, 16 game season next year, has 1,000+ yards. You're going to have to pay this guy $15.5 million.
Be even more impressive in the 12 games he's healthy.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is like obviously I think that Brzezinski will build in something to kind of counteract the injury stuff, and that's probably something Diggs will probably somewhat acknowledged as well too. But I mean, even in the games that Diggs did miss this season, his production this season was still at a significantly high level than people really want to admit. I mean, I know you see the Adam Thielen stats and you're just like, well, this is the guy that we really want. But you go back and you look at what Stephon Diggs was able to do this year. And you see the touchdown percentages, you see the catch rates, you see the DVOA, you see the DYAR that he has, and that just breaks down your positions per play versus your total value. Like he is actually outperforming Adam Thielen in a lot of these categories. So
especially swag,
a lot of swag
at his peak when healthy. He's a top 5 receiver.
And he's
not better than Julio. He's not better than AJ. You're not going to pick him. But go flip on as much as you just preached about the stats and production, which you can certainly look at. Player A versus player B. I just flip on the tape and I just watch this dude ball. Remember week one, the New Orleans Saints games when he took those 2 licks, those monster shots,
still held on to
up to it, stood up. First down.
Because
this guy plays on another level that we haven't seen since.
Because I'm sure he's probably heard the narrative. He's a smaller wide receiver comparatively to
he is tough though. But he proved it.
Yeah, he's definitely shows that as far as contested catches, as far as a guy who's going to take a hit, he can take it. And just put on the tape. If you don't like the stats, put on the tape. He will show you that. I mean, honestly,
the way he runs routes, man.
Stephon Diggs, in my opinion, he's still not at his peak yet, and he's only 24, 25 years old. And you look at a guy like Adam Thielen, who's creeping up on 30.
Yep.
Is Thielen creeping up on 30?
Yes. He's been in the league for a while. So
it's all right. We got Brandon Zylstra. Hello, people on mentions. Did you see the stats he put up in the CFL last year? It's like CFL's a passing league. They have 3 downs.
Right.
You can get a running start before the snap. Like, I'd be disappointed if he didn't put up numbers. But, I mean, he's got a shot. I mean, who's going to be in camp? Possibly rookie TBD. You got Wright. You got Treadball for a while. You got Stacey Coley. You got Caleb Jones.
Yep, your boy Caleb Jones. That's it.
Anthony Miller.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Bayshawn Hamilton.
Tony.
There's a lot of quiet needs for depth again this year, and that's why I want to know, is Spielman going to push his chips all in and try to get 2 impact guys early on, or is he going to say, well, I got to protect myself for 2019 and 2020, trade down, stockpile. He's got 3 6th-round picks right now. Maybe he tries to get a few more. I mean, he's had good luck. If he has a couple scratch-offs, he's had good luck with one. Diggs was a 5th-round pick.
Yeah, he was.
Everson Griffin was a 4th-round pick. B-Rob was a 4th-round pick. There's tons of them that you can go up and down.
They have
Roll guys, man. Stephen Weatherly's 6th-round pick or 7th-round pick. David Morgan, 6th-round pick. Tayshaun Bauer, undrafted
guy.
The glue right here, the glue in between the cracks is these day 3 and undrafted dudes. Anthony Harris, undrafted.
They've definitely shown that they can get value into those later rounds. But the other thing to consider is they just came out with, the compensatory, I can't even say it, picks for the Vikings, and they got an extra 3rd-rounder.
Next year?
For next year. So if you don't have a 1st-round pick, you maybe trade down, maybe want to get a little bit more value, a bunch more guys. Understand Rick Spielman's probably thinking I could probably get 2 1st-rounders next year. Mm-hmm. And with having that extra 3rd round, with having a 2nd round, you can move up and go grab another guy. So the Vikings do have some flexibility if they want to, maybe just get some of those holes to be filled this year.
Right. That's what she said. I was thinking about this on the drive up, that the Vikings, everyone says trade down from 3rd, trade down, but you have to have a willing partner there. But just because the draft is so thick with 2 Cs, in the 20 to 50 range of talented players, I think there's only 3 scenarios plausible right now where I could see where a team would want to come up to 30. Mason Rudolph, either Gesicki or Goddard. If one of them is already off the board, a team really wants a tight end, they hop up. Or if a team really likes Geis or Ronald Jones, and
that's the one I think.
They're aware that Philly's got him.
That's the one I think.
Especially Geis.
Which sounds weird because people trading up back in the first for a running back, but no, really. I mean, that's how good. That's how good Geis and Jones are, and I have no faith that somebody's going to trade up for Mason Rudolph at that pick. Maybe, but I think those guys are so good, and that Philly sitting there, like you mentioned, Cleveland sitting there, who's not going to take Barkley. I don't think
that's what I think this might be.
At 33 and 35, the Colts are sitting there with 2 picks right there. They're not going to take Barkley. They need a good running back. I think that's the more realistic scenario for sure.
I definitely think the Brown scenario where maybe they go quarterback and they decide maybe not, instead of getting Saquon, they go Bradley Chubb. Pair him with Myles Garrett. They think, okay, we miss out on Saquon. Let's go get a Darius Geis. Let's get a Ronald Jones. Oh, but it's kind of that back end of the draft. Maybe a team wants to grab one of those guys. Well, let's move up to the Vikings spot with our first 2nd round pick and go grab one of those guys.
Since this is the stupid part of draft season, would you trade the number 30 overall pick for Rob Gronkowski?
Yes.
Boy, in this draft class, I mean, the injuries scare the hell out of you. He may only play another, realistically, 3 years.
But
maybe 2.
But is that all you need?
Maybe, dude. And DeFilippo's offense, dude, with 2 great tight ends.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Well, who's the second one?
Bucky Hodges
just got blocked.
That would be that's a lot of money. I understand that's a lot of money to tight ends because that'd be like $16 million between him and Rudolph. But also, I don't care. Whatever. Whatever's at this point.
Yep.
I mean, even if he only get 2 years of Gronk, he plays out his contract. He's like, I'm gonna go wrestle WWE because I have injury concerns. It's like, okay, I would take it.
I'd take it.
Yeah. That's all. Vikings OTAs happening this week.
Oh, yeah.
They seem early. Is this right on schedule?
This does seem so early.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is this right on schedule, though? Do they always do it?
Yeah, there's usually one before the rookies come in. So then there's one with the vets, then there's rookie camp, and then there's all together.
Got it.
God, what was the shirt that Kirk Cousins had on? It was like back to skull or something like that. It was a good pun.
They were at the Wild game.
Yeah.
I saw that. A bunch of them, right?
My mom was like, he looks 19. I was like,
Really?
He might be.
How come he
Kirk
didn't
Cousins?
say, let's play hockey?
Yeah, it's a good question. There was a lot of players, though, because Thielen was there, and I can't
Wait, Adam Thielen at a
Latavius
hockey
Murray.
game? You don't say
Latavius
that.
Yeah,
Murray was
Latavius
there.
Murray.
I think Sadejo was there.
Yeah, I mean, sure,
I
they
don't
just
know.
had a box.
What's his kicker?
Blair Walsh.
No.
Just kidding.
Who?
You weren't kidding, though. Like,
Yeah.
well,
No, someone's got to sell that popcorn.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra
Kai was there.
I have a question for you.
Yinka's
So,
face when I said Blair Walsh.
those 3 or 4 games that Cordero went to the Wild game with
I remember those.
Thielen.
Thielen, yeah.
Do you think he has ever watched another like full period of hockey?
No, he was probably on his phone the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good friends with Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
But he was on his phone then.
So, I'll give a pass. Like, if he's at a bar or at the gym, glances up, a hockey game is on. But no, actually, physically sitting down with a can of dry ginger ale and some popcorn. Like, I'm watching the Whalers and the Thrashers. Crap, both of those aren't teams anymore, are they?
No, neither of them. No, where is he? He's with Patriots now?
Yeah.
Yes.
What if he becomes just a Bruins?
dude,
Like a diehard Bruins fan.
that would be hilarious.
It'd be pretty funny.
Or he becomes like a Ranger fan just to spite everybody.
Yeah, it'd be Montreal. Montreal is
Is
their big
Montreal
rival.
like the big?
Can you imagine that's a French-based team? He sits there speaking French, talking about hockey.
Oh, oui, oui. Sherry.
I can't wait till we get around to Patriots fans going like, well, why don't they just turn Cordell into a running back?
Yeah.
Tommy.
Because that happened with Raiders fans last year, and
Yeah.
Ted Wynn was just like, no. Ted Wynn, Raiders film analysis, awesome guy,
Great dude.
Yeah, but overall, here, that, your body has to be conditioned to take all that contact. Cordero's is not, but whatever. They'll find a way to use him, and it'll be awesome.
Oh, dude,
and
he's
it'll
gonna be unreal.
well, crap. There we go. Speaking of using, Zone Coverage listeners, hello. Do you know that there's a new place around the corner serving flippin' good burgers? Because you flip them, and they're do you understand? Yeah, My Burger, family owned and been obsessed over since 2004. That's a long time. It's before Yinka was born. Each location serves made-to-order burgers, hand-pressed to perfection, never frozen. That is right. Burgers are made fresher, taste better. It's just a rule. It's like you don't draft guards in the top 3. Yeah, something like that. They feature hand-dipped malts, locally baked buns, hot and fresh French fries, onion rings, and sweet potato fries. 5 Twin Cities locations, including Stadium Village, Richfield, Calhoun, in the Skyway, Minneapolis, and also new location, Mac, Groveland. It's my favorite one. Calls homebodies, but we like it local. There's no shame in ordering in seconds. MyBurgerUSA.com. Hit them up, My Burger. I have a question.
Yep.
Is the draft chart obsolete?
The draft chart?
Yeah, draft trade chart.
Oh, got it. I still think it's probably something to go off of, but it's certainly not as nearly as accurate as it used to be.
No.
And people are going to bust that thing wide open. Teams, I mean, when they trade this year, because, the Giants are asking for a king's ransom for the number 2 pick, and Odell. And if somebody were to give that up, it's like they're going to way overpay to go get like a Josh Allen. And I'm talking about the Bills specifically. They have a lot of ammo. They might have to give up all of it. 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. That might be just too good to pass up if you're the Giants sitting there at 2, drop down to 12. You can do some major damage with those.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to mention your own picks.
You could legitimately rebuild your entire both sides of the ball with that draft class.
Yeah.
It's
unbelievable.
I was sort of interested in this. So I looked up the generally accepted trade chart. And, by the way, the trade chart originated with Jimmy Johnson in the Cowboys, the Herschel Walker trade, just bending Mike Lynn, rest in peace, Vikings GM at the time, over the table. And just
like, rest in peace. We still have to.
It was, if you look up that trade, it was
fleeced.
It was if this player from the Vikings to the Cowboys is still on the roster, then you don't have to give up a draft pick X. But Jimmy Johnson's plan all along was just to cut all those players. Like, he didn't care. And it's like,
was that a 30 for 30 or was that?
It was a mini 30 for 30.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not good.
And then Darren Nelson's like, no. Yeah, I'm not going to Dallas because I know Jimmy Johnson's game is just going to cut me. But whatever. And then looking back, like some of the big quarterback trades, whether it be Wentz, Watson, RG3, like they're all out of whack. Mm-hmm. Like, you call it the quarterback tax, you can call it whatever, but I think it's a guide, but I don't think teams adhere to it as strictly as you would think.
I agree.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
I think
Not
it's done.
at all, yeah.
It was great to go off of right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was great to go off of right
think
away
it was
to give you a general idea. Me and Arif did this with the Bengals-Bills trade.
Yeah.
We calculated what really Cordy Glenn was worth in the deal, and it was about 400 points, which was about right. I think the Bills actually got away with maybe a little bit of extra value, but it's something to go off of, and it shows you, too, when there's a player involved, what that player was ultimately worth in the draft trade. So it was like Cordy Glenn ended up being worth like a second-round pick, which I think is about right. Cordy Glenn, starting tackle,
exactly.
second-round pick, seems about right.
I think it definitely helps to put into perspective for fans who maybe want to understand if a trade does happen during the draft, they can at least be like, okay, maybe we gave up too much, or that seems about right for what we got for this player and stuff. I think the issue that it still has is maybe the perception that fans still have about, like, let's say first-round picks. A lot of people feel like first-round picks are absolutely invaluable. Like, never give them up almost for no reason.
Well,
but
it's always the potential.
It's always the
potential. It could be the
potential.
next
Yeah,
Randy Moss.
Exactly.
You don't know.
And there was, obviously there was a lot of talk about Odell Beckham Jr. Like, would you give up a first-round pick for him? And, there were some people who were just like, no, I wouldn't do that. And you have to understand, especially at a position like the wide receiver, who is, I believe, is at a 30% hit rate for being a top-end wide receiver. You're giving up for a guy who's already top 5.
Yeah, it's like, would you give up two first rounds,
right?
Yeah,
and he's already top 5, and he
of course,
he's on a Hall of Fame path.
Yeah.
So as far as that trade chart, I don't think it's obsolete, but I definitely feel it doesn't have the same value to teams than it does to fans.
All right. So, story time. Okay. Sorry. I need to go down a bit of a rabbit hole. So, friend of the program, Ian Kenyon, he brought to light this article from Cincinnati after the 99 draft. So, the Bengals infamously took Achilles Smith, the pride of Oregon, number 3, huge bust, string of quarterback busts and running back, just busts. Cincinnati was bad back then. But apparently, that was the draft that Mike Ditka gave up everything for Ricky Williams because he wanted to get up to 3. He ended up settling going for 5. We'll get to that in a sec. But the Saints offered them 9 picks, all of their picks that year, and then the first round picks in 2000 and 2001, and a second rounder 2002. And since he's like, nah, we're taking Achilles Smith. But
and by the way, who went after Ricky? Torrey Holt and Champ Bailey.
Yeah.
So Ricky wasn't like horrible. He certainly was not.
Nuts.
But he certainly was not worth the trade.
He was better after he retired.
Horrible. Right.
Yeah.
But you just stay put. It's like you could have Torrey Holt or Champ Bailey.
But also, here's the kicker. Like, Ricky wasn't even the best running back in the top 5 because Edgerrin James was the Colts at 4.
James,
yeah. But
I love that dude. That dude is still in the NFL somewhere. Like, he's somewhere.
Now, the insanity of the Ricky Williams trade was so Washington bit because they were at 5, and then they traded number 5 in exchange for New Orleans 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. That year, as well as their 1st and 3rd in 2000s, the subsequent year, which, by the way, the Saints were bad, so it was the number 2 overall pick, and Washington was bad. So in 2000, Washington had the 2 and 3 overall pick, which is insane, and they took LeVar Arrington and Chris Samuels.
Okay.
Yeah, you expect a little more for the 2 and 3 bang, but yeah.
Well, it's still insane to me. Was it 93 where the Colts had 1 and 2?
I can't remember.
And
I couldn't even tell you who they took.
They whiffed. One of them was Steve Ettman.
So LeVar Arrington was coming from Penn State. Penn State U. I mean, linebacker U. By the way, the first pick was Courtney Brown.
Yeah.
So the number 1 and number 2 pick came from the Penn State front 7.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Chris Samuels, I think he got
That's
hurt.
back when, you know who the defense coordinator was?
Go ahead.
I think we know. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Peter Warrick, Jamal Lewis was great. Corey Simon, Thomas Jones, Plaxico and Brian Urlacher were really the only 2 where it's like in the top 10 that was realistic that you probably could have took. So, I mean, maybe just not a great draft class, All
right, so 1992, the Colts had 1 and 2. They took Steve Ettman, DN from Washington. Back when Washington was like good. I actually think they have a shared national title, but whatever. And the Colts at 2 took Quentin Coryatt, linebacker from Texas A&M. Combined Pro Bowls between them, 0. Oof. The whiff. Oof.
Whoa, baby.
Also, we talked about the 2013 draft being bad. 1992, it's the first draft since 1960 to produce 0 Hall of Famers. So that one, not great, Bob.
Oops.
Not great, Bob. You might say that the best player from the 92 draft is Troy Vincent, maybe. Chester McLaughlin, maybe.
Wow.
Oh, Darren Woodson. Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, I think those
Yeah,
two.
Jimmy Smith's a borderline Hall of Famer. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Speaking of Hall of Fame, this little segment might be heading to Canton. Tom, give me some really tooly late 90s, early 2000s music.
I will. In the meantime, Arif was the last person in here, and I'm trying to figure out what he did to the board.
On the
It
board,
was a
too?
Skype. It was a Skype update that changed the sound. This is a little inside baseball,
Classic.
but damn it, Arif!
Oh yeah, because Arif did Locked On in place of Sam this week, and he said it was the hardest thing he ever did.
Oh, gotcha. What kind of music do you want again?
I think along the lines of Len Steal My Sunshine.
Okay, we'll start with that, and we'll go forward.
All right, so here's what we're doing. Everyone likes mock drafts.
I didn't even know Len was the person that's saying this. Sorry.
You need
Go
to get
on.
out more time. You need to read more books.
I do.
Yeah.
I apologize, listener.
So everyone likes mock drafts. This one is a little bit of a twist. 7-round Vikings mock, but with position primers. And what that means is Vikings have 8 draft picks currently. 1, 2, 3, no 4. Thanks, Sam Bradford. 5, 6, 6, 6. Thanks, Adrian Cordero. They the compensatory.
Adrian Cordero, yep.
And then a 7th rounder. Thanks,
Simeon.
Thanks, Trevor Simeon.
Thank you.
There we go.
The 7 was gone with the Tremaine Brock trade. Is that right?
Yeah,
Got
just a
it.
great trade. What?
Just
I think we
great
get a
trade.
compensatory pick for Tremaine Brock.
Why do we do this all the time?
Yeah. All right, so 8 picks, but I'm going to outline which position the pick is going to be. So Yinka and young Luke Duke have to think about and ruminate about it.
dude.
So we're going to do 3 runs.
Getting the draft mode, dude.
Get a little chart open. So we're going to do 3 runs.
Okay.
First one. Also, no trades because that would be too complicated. All right, so first one, first round pick, offensive guard. Give me a guard.
All right, you want to go Billy Price or Will Hernandez? Is Isaiah Wynn on the board first and foremost?
He is not.
He is not on the board. So
Okay,
I will
so
go.
it's got to be Price or Hernandez.
I
right?
will go Will Hernandez.
Let's go Hernandez.
As far as Billy Price, the pectoral injury does still scare me. When I look in the
It's
past,
just not great to draft a guy already injured.
Yeah,
It's just
and
not a great start.
something that I've actually been looking at more so is we haven't really considered that the Vikings brass hasn't really been that great with injuries as far as our players and whatnot. We've had a lot of players that have had, pretty catastrophic injuries, but we've also had players who have had pectoral injuries who really weren't
the pec injuries specifically.
Yeah,
we've had bad luck with.
that we really haven't been great. Brandon Fusco before he got that pec injury, he was on his way to being a very, very, very good guard, but because of that pec injury, we didn't really see him be the same guy that we thought when we paid him. So I want to go Will Hernandez. I think he'd be a solid guard. You can slide him right into that left guard, right guard.
Oh,
say again?
You can slide right into the DMs.
Yeah, he would slide definitely right into the DMs. Will seems like a slide into the DMs kind of.
Well, and let's not downplay Hernandez too much. Like it's Hernandez by default because Price is injured.
Yeah.
Hernandez is a mauler, dude.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's a bully. He's got these monster bear claw hands going on. He gets a hold of you.
He wears the
it's
cowboy
over.
collar, which is amazing.
And he wears that damn collar. It's old school tough, dude. He's a mauler, man. I think he's going to be fun to watch and a fun addition to this Vikings offensive line, dude.
All right, so Will Hernandez, come on down.
You should be. People should be excited about that if that's the pick. He's good.
You're the next contestant on trying to fill in at that right guard spot. There we go. Second round, slated. Give me an edge. Give me an edge in the second round.
Edge guy.
Josh Sweat fits the mold in the second round. Not sure if he's still going to be there. Seems to be getting a lot of buzz. I like Lorenzo Carter.
I was going to say Lorenzo Carter.
Landry, Davenport.
I don't know if I would take Lorenzo Carter. He has so much upside, but he definitely would be kind of that project that you would maybe be able to move on from Everson Griffin in a year or two or whatever the case is if he is more of that defensive end or stand-up linebacker position. So in the second round, I would be okay with Lorenzo Carter, but
Yeah, I think it might be a little high, but you're sitting there. You don't pick until, 62,
Yeah.
and then you're not going to pick again until 94. A lot of these guys with the upside are going to be gone, like Carter. So if you want them now, you better get them. It might be a little high. So there's some other good guys. Jeff Holland, Auburn.
Yeah.
Some people love Chad Thomas from Miami. I like Carter. Chad is Chad. Long
that
arms,
Chad,
man.
are we drafting
Lorenzo
that guy?
Carter, come on.
I mean,
down.
Arden Key would be the dream if you knew he was
would
going to
be
have
the-
his head on straight.
Even if you didn't, it's like, well,
Yeah,
it's,
whatever.
It's second round pick. I mean, something Randy Gregory or something like that. Third round, give me a corner.
There's some fun, and we
Lot
don't
of
really
meat.
talk about a ton of these corners.
It's a great corner draft.
I
class.
love this corner class. My guy's MJ Stewart on day 2, North Carolina. Very feisty in your hip pocket the whole time. Great, kind of that short area quickness. He's 5'11", so a little shorter, but 200 pounds. He's a big dude. For some reason, people are telling me Mike Hughes is going to fall. There's no way he's going to fall.
If he's there in the third round, I'm taking him, and I'm not.
Who, Hughes?
Mike Hughes. If he's there in the third round for a pick, I'm taking him, and I'm not looking back at all.
Quentin Meeks is another one I love. We talk about Meeks every week on the show, so I'll skip that. My other kind of cornerback that I just love on day 2, Carlton Davis from Auburn. Zone coverage corner guy, but
I'm Brand.
He's one of us.
Brand.
Yeah. He plays.
We'll send you a shirt.
He plays really with his eyes to the ball really well in that zone coverage scheme. But
So now you're giving out shirts.
Yeah. Oh,
I have shirts.
super physical dude. I would absolutely love to watch him. He'd be great. Last one, Holton Hill from Texas. Probably the best tackling cornerback in this class. 6'3", 200 pounds. Is he a safety? Is he a corner? I don't know. He's got about 4 weed violations, so not great, Bob.
Yeah, it's just weed.
To be fair.
So you're going to get a discount sticker on him, but
Yeah.
Is he the guy who he's going to be like, that dude who had the mask? Let's do this again.
oh, you're talking about, right. It's draft day. Let's
Tunsil,
celebrate.
Tunsil.
Yeah, he's like Tunsil's my guy, dude.
Except everyone would be
the
like,
Dolphins that picked
we
or
are
the Ravens?
Yeah, although
Miami.
Percy Harvin's, I understand as he got into his 20s got hurt, but great pick, and you got him at a value because he smoked weed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so who's our cornerback pick there in the
I say MJ Stewart's the most realistic, or Carlton Davis. Hughes is going to be long gone.
Hughes is definitely going to be gone. So let's go with MJ Stewart.
I like him.
MJ Stewart?
Yep.
Come on down. UNC?
Yep.
There you go. Fourth round. Fifth round. There you go.
Oh, no fourth. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam Bradford.
Give me a wide out. Give me a wide receiver.
Okay. You got anybody on the top of your head? A
Not
wide
off the
out?
top of my head.
Deshaun Hamilton, one of the best route runners in the draft. If he's still there,
I don't think he'll be there in the fifth round.
Probably not. It drops off a lot. You lose the DJ Moores, the Auden Tates, the Jaleel Scotts, even probably.
Richie James is a little
Christian
bit in.
Kirk should be gone. Dante
intriguing.
Pettis is getting a lot of buzz now. He should be gone. DJ Chark. Some people. Who was it? Daniel Jeremiah had him going in his first round. Simi Cobbs Jr. has always been my guy. Indiana, big body dude, 6'4". Worked Denzel Ward in week 1 at Ohio State. Can go up and get it. I like those kind of guys. Simi Cobbs, 5th round. That's where we're at. Kiki, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, from Texas Tech. He's an outstanding slot guy. So he would be one too. So I'll give you 2 names there. You can pick from them. Unless you got a wild card you want to throw out.
Kirk needs a tall receiver.
Well, I mean, who was it? Simi Cobbs that you?
Simi Cobbs
that
Jr.
you
from
kind of
Indiana,
mentioned
Big
about?
Ten boy.
I think he's really good, but there's a name that's still on the board that would intrigue me so hard in the 5th round.
Talking about Antonio
Callaway out of Florida. He would be, as far as you know what you're going to get with the guy. He's going to be a little bit of a PR nightmare, but as far as what he can do on the field, I think off-field stuff, if that wasn't a question, he would be top round type guy. But he probably still be there at the 5th round. I'm going Antonio Callaway.
And I know Florida State and other schools around the nation have issues, but Florida always seems to have guys that are not PR friendly. And then you have Tebow. How weird.
It's got to balance everything out.
I think there's a photo of Tebow warming up, and he's throwing to Aaron Hernandez and Riley Cooper's in the background.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's so great.
So I think the Pounceys are in that picture. But,
I think they are.
All right, so wide receiver, 5th round. Who are we taking?
Well, I mean, if you think I'll take Callaway, but I already feel the heat from our listeners and followers going, we're not going to take Callaway. But yeah,
it's too high. Get him in the 6. Speaking of the 3 6-rounders, give me a 6th-round D tackle. Give me some interior tackle.
Poona Ford from Texas would be a good one. Bigger dude, more of a nose. We need both, man. We need depth at both. Poona Ford.
I like that name.
Didn't really get much love because he didn't get invited to the Combine, which I thought was one of the bigger snubs. Andrew Brown from Virginia will probably be gone. Trenton Thompson from Georgia would be another good one too.
I as far as defensive interior guys, I'm not as well versed, so I will.
You want the big nose, or do you want the more athletic dude?
I think we need a backup nose tackle, just because I think Linval Joseph needs.
He's got to have somebody.
He's got to have something behind him to spell him.
So let's get Poona 5'11", 303. Just a bowling ball.
Love that name.
Jesus. Bullet. Done deal.
Knee deep in Poona. Next up, 6th-rounder. Give me an offensive tackle.
Tackle, man, gets thin quick, dude. You're looking at projects, man. Timon Paris from Stony Brook was intriguing going into the Senior Bowl. Brett Toth, but he's going to end up going into the Army. God bless. Brandon Parker, NCA&T. I think that would be a good project there. Big dude, 6'7", 315. There was one more, Joseph Noteboom. He might be gone by then, but from TCU, super athletic, kind of like the Avante Collins of this class. Yeah. Super athletic.
Chemistry.
So a couple names there, yeah. Kappa's my guy, Alex Kappa. Yeah. This has him ranked super low. I don't think he's going to last to the 6, but if you would tell me, yeah, we can have Kappa in the 6.
Let's go Alex Kappa. Let's do it.
Deal. That might be the best value pick that we got so far.
All right, no Kappa.
Okay, no Kappa.
All right,
no Kappa.
No Brandon Parker?
He's a big guy.
Brian O'Neill should be long gone. I don't know why this has him rated so low.
Because he's bad.
Yeah. What do you, man?
Just gives Yinka the ball, baby.
I know, right?
I mean, how many do you want me to name? 9, 10?
Let's go Brandon Parker.
Brandon Parker, come on down. You're the next member of the Minnesota Vikings. 6th-rounder, last one. Give me a running back.
Ooh.
A lot more intriguing.
You know any running at the top of your head, any day 3 running backs that you kind of like? Because there's a lot of them. That's why I asked.
There definitely are a lot.
Because John Kelly, I love on day 3. Probably going to be gone. The kid from Miami gets a lot of love. You got the list right there. You're looking at Justin Jackson, Northwestern, Bo Scarborough.
I was going to say Bo Scarborough, but I think he might go in like the late 5th round
for sure.
So I feel like he wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Some other guys.
I think it's Mark Walton from Miami. Always intrigues me quite a bit.
Kyle Hicks is a little bit intriguing as far as, you really are looking for. I mean, the reason why we're looking at a late 6th-round running back is because we kind of want to replace the Jerick McKinnick or potentially find a Latavius Murray, replacement if you move on from him. Let's just say that he's there. In the 6th round, but we'll go Bo Scarborough, Alabama.
Bo for sure.
Alabama.
Just for fun, look up Bo Scarborough's high school stats. It's amazing.
It's phenomenal.
Just crazy.
Like it's unreal how much he demolished people in high school.
Right. Wrap it up. First run is 7th-round linebacker. Spielman
7th
special.
round linebacker. Yeah, Spielman special. I wish Arif was here because he knows all of the requirements for what that means when it comes to the Vikings picking these athletic linebackers. Davin Bellamy always has intrigued me from Georgia. Another Georgia dude. Shaquem Griffin, when's he going to get drafted? Matthew Thomas, though, don't know about the off-the-field stuff. Led the team, the Seminoles, led the Florida State Seminoles in tackles when he was on the field and was healthy.
Yinka?
I'm just looking up. I'm just looking up Davin Bellamy.
All right, so Davin Bellamy or David Thomas, who we like?
Matthew Thomas, but
whatever.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of Davin Bellamy, so I'll go with Matthew Thomas.
Matthew Thomas, come on. This is the all question mark team. All right, so recapping the first round, we got Will Hernandez, Lorenzo Carter. Not bad. Two impact guys right away.
Not bad.
MJ Stewart, the pride of UNC.
Like
Antonio Callaway. All right.
Good.
Puna Ford. Come on down.
Puna Ford.
Brandon Parker, tackle, NC-A&T.
Yep.
Bo Scarborough.
Let's go. Let's play.
Just all-star up the gut, essentially. And last but not least, 7th rounder, Matthew Thomas, Florida State University.
A lot of potential there.
All right, we're going to roll the second 2 runs into hour 2. Then we're going to talk about, some draft sleepers. Luke, we're going to pick your brain. We're going to take phone calls. We got Twitter questions as well, so keep it tuned in. Shows available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, zonecover.com/machine. But for Luke and Yinka and Tom, I'm Andy. Saying, sign on, bro. This is hour 2.